Hey guys, welcome to Picksburgh. My name is Anthony. I appreciate you joining me and my homie Nate every day. I'm hustling for another one of these live sports card talk shows / Q&As. This is the show that me and Nate set aside every single week for you guys, and we have zero agenda. We just want to hang out with you guys, talk sports cards, recap kind of what our weeks have entailed because trust me, both Nate and I have had crazy weeks. But yeah, thank you so much for being here, guys. I just want to say what's up to Gate City Picker. Appreciate you being here, Paul. Genuinely appreciate it, my friend.
What up, Paul?
Anything you want to say, Nate?
Been away for the last couple of weeks, just dealing with some personal stuff and stuff like that. But I definitely will have a video coming out probably on Tuesday during my normal video drop or whatever like that. It's a lot of exciting stuff with sports going on, a lot of trades, NFL, pro, so a lot of exciting things going on in the sports world. That's for sure.
Definitely, that's what's up, man. I look forward to seeing that upload, man. I always like whenever you do those videos because I know historically, like months later, you can go back and if you bought the cards you talk about, you pretty much make money, you know. So.
Oh, yeah.
I always like hearing your suggestions because I know you put a lot of research into it. Yes, Nate is surrounded by slabs. He is indeed.
I have surround sound of slabs.
Yep. Just the way it should be. That's my goal to one day be surrounded by slabs in that fashion.
As soon as PSA opens up the vault and actually lets a bunch of stuff out,
I know, man. I can't wait. Like, we were at the card show today, and we're walking by, and I'm pointing out to Marty, like, I have that one at PSA, and I have that one at PSA. You know what I mean? It's almost like whenever you're having a new baby, and you want to talk about every little aspect of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely way knocked up PSA. This pregnancy needs to hurry up and happen.
Right.
These labor pains are no fun.
Exactly. It's basically exactly like what you're saying is like, sending something off to PSA is almost like a 9 month or like having a kid basically in real life because you go through the labor pains, having to wait and deal with it. But, when they come back, top value and, people are going to want those slabs. That's for sure.
Yep, absolutely. Completely agree. And that's something that you see more and more, like, at least for me, like as I go to like sports card shows and stuff like that, is like PSA is king. You know what I mean? Like as much as it's king with getting top dollar on eBay, it shows PSA slabs are what people want. You know what I mean? Like they're good with Beckett, they're good with SGC for the most part, but like the people that like really are in there investing big dollars want that PSA label for the most part. At least that's what I've been seeing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, whenever cards go up in value, you look at PSA 10s or you look at cards that are graded 10s, and then you look at PSA stuff. Those are the cards people they're going to get the max value for. People want to get sometimes the value can slip on different brands. Like sometimes like the scale with like SGC can slide on certain cards. So whenever you're getting one of these huge cards, you want to make sure that value is going to stay towards the top as possible.
Paul says he's not building a nursery for his slabs. I feel you, man. You might need to though, dude, because it's going to be a while before they come back.
Yeah, we're before the show started, I was looking at PSA's service level and stuff like that, and I think they're at the end of July for the entry dates on their stuff. So I mean, for the stuff that we have coming back, me, you, and Paul, and Joey, and a couple other guys, probably 4 or 5 months, I would guess, something like that, unless they would hire more people or something like that. But now that COVID is starting to get really under control with the vaccine and all that type of stuff, hopefully just things can just fully open, and I think that will help a lot better, a lot more as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man.
You've been checking out any of the big trades, any free agency stuff that has been going on in the NFL or any basketball stuff?
Yeah, I've been trying to keep up with it, man. Like, I was really hoping to see the Cavs get something for Drummond, so I was a little bit bummed about that. And then we gave up JaVale McGee for Cheeseburger too. So
But the thing that's nice about that trade, JaVale kind of was a free cheeseburger when you guys got him in the first place, and
that's true.
he is valuable on the bench somewhere with somebody getting a little bit of playing time. Someone that is going to have a chance at the playoffs. And
Exactly.
Denver Nuggets, I was glad to see them make that push. They got two different players, so hopefully doesn't hurt Michael Porter Jr.'s value and his playing time moving forward, because then that would really hurt some of my stuff that I've been buying recently. But
Yeah.
Just gearing up for the playoffs, getting ready. A lot of these teams are ready. Their lines are set. There's no more trades that can happen. The only thing that we're basically waiting on is to see where Drummond lands, and that could swing who wins the championship, depending on health and just kind of luck sometimes.
Yep. Dude, yeah, he's going to be a key piece for somebody. Like, it's going to be huge.
Oh yeah, when we went to that last game, and I got to see my first Cavs game live and seeing him play. I'm a big fan of him. He's not a stretch big man, but you know what I mean? What he does do awesome is rebound and play the tough inside game. You know what I mean? And for a team like the Lakers, who can do so many different things on offense, you can play AD at the 5, you can run him at the 4 if you had to, through their offensive series and different things like that. It makes it's a valuable piece. I mean, rebounding and second chance points are so valuable in the playoffs.
Yeah. I want to say what's up to Skyler, my guy over there at To the Moon Collectibles. Big shout out. The last 2 weeks, he's had Nate and I on his Sunday night sports card school. So if you guys are interested in learning about sports cards more, Sunday nights, 7 p.m. Eastern, typically right after our auction ends for the most part. He goes live with sports card school, and he has new people on every week.
Going on, Skyler? Good to see you, my friend. What's going on with the Steelers, man? Let go of some pieces recently. It's going to be tough for them to put a team together that's going to be close to what they were last year. So
I know, man. I think just having the linebackers back is going to be a big deal, though. Good Jim in the house, old school flips. Good to see you, my friend. Order. He wants to know if I think the Suns are, well, if either of us, I guess, think the Suns are good enough to make a run without making any trades. I mean, I think they're good enough to make a run at, like, the playoffs and maybe, like, a round or so. But, like, I don't know, like, that they're good enough to win it, especially in the West. You know what I mean? Like, with, like, Lakers, Clippers, Nuggets. You know what I mean? There's just so many teams that, like, I just don't think that they have all the pieces necessary yet. I mean, I would love to see him, like a team like the Suns, like a complete dark horse, come out and just like the Heat were last year. I would love to see them kind of do something like that. But I mean, personally, like, I don't see it
yet. I think a lot of it's going to come down to Ayton. You know what I mean? I think he just has to step up a little bit more. I mean, you guys definitely have the guards to do it. You have the young pieces as well, the nice bench pieces. So, I mean, if Ayton can step up his game a little bit more and provide a little bit more defense, a little more scoring, just take the pressure off of Booker, I think they might have a chance to maybe go second round or so. But right now they're sitting at second in the West, and I mean that's something to say in itself. And the Jazz are still claiming the top spot. They made, I think, one trade before the trade deadline.
Sorry, Jimmy.
I think they got Mike Thomas from the Raptors. The Raptors basically imploded their team, and looking to build for the future. So. They added some more 3-point shooting, which they had plenty to begin with. So they're going to be tough. There's beast. What up?
If it makes you feel any better, Jimmy, I don't think these guys are going to do much damage either. Playoff time. I think your Suns have a better shot right now. So Skyler was asking, he said he's made his first big slab play. He bought 2 Zion PSA 9 Prism rookie cards for $420 shipped. What do you think? What's your initial thought of that, Nate?
Were they short print or base? That's my
I would assume base just because he didn't like say like red, white, and blue or a color. But yeah, that is a good question.
If you bought short prints, you did good. Short prints will definitely hold their value over time. They'll be the first cards people would want versus like the base.
Their base, yeah. It says their base. My Zion's a base.
It's not a bad purchase, but
Zion's going to be popular either way. I think the thing Nate's concerned with is like the population counts, especially with like PSA having like millions of cards backlogged, most of them probably being from the last 2 years. You figure at least a quarter, if not half of the cards are probably from 2018 to 2019, 2020, like that time frame. So like even with Zion already having like a huge population count on the base Prism, there could be tons more though, like still haven't added in yet. But I mean, like I said, mine's a base Prism too, PSA 9.
Yeah, I seem to like the red, white, and blue for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I like the red, white, and blues a lot too.
I think almost every rookie I have in Prism is red, white, and blue. That's
how I am with 18. And now that I've started like upgrading mine, like I've already sent you a red, white, and blue jaw. So like now I'm going to be selling my jaw. Got hip flipping Mama in the house. Appreciate you being here, Mama. If you guys haven't checked out Mama, normally on Saturdays at noon, she has a jewelry option. So any of you guys that like to buy cards, buy your ladies some jewelry. They'll love it. That's all right, Mama. You're green. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm looking through my cards right now, just wondering how many red, white, and blues I have. I think I have like 6 just from the last 2 Prisms that came on. Like I said, I don't know what it is, but I like them, man. I just I think they kind of get underpriced whenever they're at auction versus like the greens and stuff like that. And I get why those are more. But like here's a couple.
Yeah.
Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, I got that one too.
Michael Porter Jr. Select. That's the tricolor. Trey. Zion.
He's a couple slabs.
That's all. Just all the like red, white, and blue and stuff like that I could have my hands on right next to me.
Oh yeah, you want to see a real slab?
Nice. I'll forever remember that day, and you're like, I got to get that. I got to have that, and I got to get that slabbed up.
Yep. And now I just kind of leave it sit on my desk as a memento. That victorious occasion.
Thrifty says, don't sleep on Dallas, too. They got the great pickup in Reddick. As long as KP is healthy, Dallas is dangerous. Definitely. That's part of the reason why I picked up a Porzingis 10 rookie Prism, just because I felt that he was super undervalued and because he was hurt for so long that his prices never really got the respect that they should. And I think Dallas, they'll always make at least a little bit of noise in the playoffs. I highly doubt them to be a team that would just kind of be one and done.
Yeah, and like a worst case scenario, they have Luka Doncic, who's like able to at least carry them a series on his own. So I could definitely see them being. That's the thing. Like the West is so crowded. Like I mean, the East is even starting to have some like legitimate contenders with like Brooklyn. Like I mean, they might be a title favor with the injuries that they have in LA right now. You know what I mean? Like me and Nate were talking about it. Like, can you imagine if like Andre Drummond does go to the Lakers though? Like, who's going to get a rebound between him and AD? Like, that is going to be just absolutely disgusting. And then you're going to have LeBron James on the court with them.
Yeah, they definitely be some monsters in the paint. That's for sure. I think it's crazy. I just realized is the Charlotte Hornets are in 4th place. Mm-hmm. If LaMelo would have stayed, how far do you think they would have gotten? I don't think they would have really made any noise in the East, but I'm saying that they're definitely going to be going to the playoffs as of right now. Them and there's a three-man race between Atlanta, New York, and Charlotte for the fourth spot right now. So
Yeah.
And then Miami, they got Victor Oladipo, which was a great pickup as well. And I think they added one more other piece too. So I think they're going to be dangerous again this year, as long as Jimmy Butler can stay healthy.
Are they going to keep Hero at point guard now that they got Oladipo, or like have they like said how they're going to like roll their lineup, because they're so loaded at guard, man?
Yeah, that was the one thing I really didn't. I figured if they're going to trade somebody, they would have got rid of like either Duncan Robinson or I kind of doubt. I figured they wouldn't get rid of Hero, but they have 2 point guards that they don't even really use because they have none who's been a great point guard for them. They have Gordon Dragic, who was awesome for them in the playoffs last year. That basically helped them get to the finals, him and Butler, and now they just seem like they just got so much guard power that they're just making sure that they're no matter what going to be healthy for the playoffs.
Yep. And the Cavs are like literally doing what I want them to do right now. Like I want them to be like okay, but I want them to be bad enough that they're in the lottery. You know what I mean? I want at least one more lottery pick added to this young nucleus. You know what I mean? They're in the 12th spot in the East right now. So like that's definitely like lottery territory.
Bulls made a lot of big pickups too. They picked up Vucevic from the Magic. That was a good pickup for them. They have a young team. They're going to be they could be dangerous too.
Yeah,
it's going to be very interesting. I like a very competitive league. You know what I mean? It's not as bad as last year when there was like basically like a 1-2 man race. Team race for who was going to win the championship. And this year, I mean, everyone's up for grabs, especially what the Nuggets have done and Brooklyn, and I like the Sixers as well. I think they have a really nice team. It's going to come down to who can stay healthy, and the Heat having that much power on their bench, and even though they have probably too many guards, it might work out in their favor moving forward because they can just go more of a smaller lineup, move one of those guards to like the small forward position.
Yeah. Hey, Dallas fan, appreciate you being here. I'm really glad THT stayed on the Lakers too, because I like that kid a lot. I really do. And I think being in a market like LA, like almost kind of, I don't want to say like boosts your value just for being in a bigger market, but it does, because there's like a much bigger fan base. So there's more people that will genuinely want to buy your cards. You know what I mean? Like, for example, like look at like Lonzo and Ingram stuff. Like their stuff is still like worth grabbing in my opinion, but you know what I mean? Like once they moved over to the Pelicans, it wasn't like as hot, you know what I mean, as it was when they were still with the Lakers. DV's in the house. Good to see you, Dan. Appreciate you being here, man. T Fish is in the house. Said Oladipo's more of a point guard than Hero, but who knows? Yeah, I mean they've been running Hero like at both guard positions all year, so it's like, you know what I mean. Like I don't know if they really know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like I see a couple people said, like Thrifty said that they might even use Depot off the bench, like a 6-man or a bench guy. Like that'd be one heck of like a 6-man coming off the bench, because like when healthy, he's still like capable of like all-star production.
Yeah, I mean, even if Oladipo's they're going to run their point, it must be like a James Harden point situation, because Oladipo can put up some points. Last couple games with Houston, one of the games he put up 34. So I mean, he could definitely light it up. So I think a lot of teams knew, going against the Nets, LA, and not knowing if Lakers are going to add a piece or if they were going, or if not, they knew they're going to put up some points or go against one of those pretty decent defensive teams. So getting all this firepower is necessary, because I mean, it's the only way you're going to get over some of these teams if you outshoot them.
Yep, absolutely.
This the Breaks in the house. What up?
What's going on? Appreciate you being here with us. So what have you guys noticed about this market this week or past couple weeks? Like, I was just telling Nate, like, these past couple card shows have been so different than what I've been used to lately, just because it's like the modern scene is not hot at all. Like, I'll roll through there with all like the hottest young rookies, slabbed up PSA, BGS, SGC, a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? And guys really aren't all that interested in picking up like the heroes, the jaws, like all of the young guys right now. Everybody's running, like, especially like the vendors. Like, I asked like 3 or 4 people like what they wanted for Kobe stuff trade wise, and they're like, unless you're giving me more Kobe, LeBron, or Jordan stuff, then nothing, pretty much, So like, there's still like, from what I've seen, the past 2 card shows I've been to, it's still pretty substantial run with like the whole Kobe, Iverson, like vintage market type stuff.
It's almost like they're it was kind of like the guy I dealt with for the Hardens and stuff like that I traded with. He wanted all Jordan stuff, and with that type of stuff, you can't really lose. There's always going to be a demand for Kobe. There's always going to be a demand for Jordan. There's always going to be a demand for LeBron. I mean, those guys are without a doubt, easily all in the top 10 all time in almost everyone's list, and for the most part, I would say. So, those guys' values are going to continue to stay where they're at, or at least, pivot for the most part, stay where they're going to be. Third piece wants to know how much hoops or Donruss will be when Prism gets released. You definitely see a price drop.
That's the nice thing, man, is like every time a new set comes out, the prices continue to tumble in the other ones. So like right now, I'm kind of in like, I'm going to go pick up as much Donruss as I can because Absolute just dropped. You know what I mean? So it's like kind of the perfect time to start picking up, especially hoops. Like right now, like you're going to get hoops prices like dirt cheap. You know what I mean? Like it's to the point now where like even sending the hoops to GMA, it's like I've kind of already missed like the window. You know what I mean? So, it's not going to ever be as hot as it was. But then again, you could come away with guys like, LaMelo or whoever who like it could be special. You know what I mean? Like Luka Doncic's hoops card's like a $200 card right now. So, you know what I mean? Like it could be worth something in the future. You know what I mean? Not saying that all of the cards will be, especially since this is a weaker class, but you know what I mean? Like it's definitely still worth buying and ripping. And especially like with you, Chris, collecting like a team and certain players and stuff. Like I go hot and heavy after like all the Okoro stuff, after like the next stuff starts dropping.
I think because of how the market is and everything too, like and because of this year's draft, I think a lot of people aren't going to be holding on to wax, especially those type of sets. So whenever Prism comes out, I wouldn't doubt if a lot of people just started, pricing them to sell. So this way they can possibly pick up more Prism or, just get their money back to reinvest in something else or do something else. So, just be on the lookout. Look on those auctions, you know what I mean? Those eBay auctions for a lot of different stuff, and you'll be able to pick them up pretty cheap. But I know Prism, no matter what's going to, be pretty expensive just because, even though LaMelo got hurt, his rookie's still in there. He's still a special player. He didn't blow a knee or anything like that. Wrist injury can be a little worrisome at times depending on the player, but his eyes, his vision, passing and stuff like that. So it's not like he's just a jump shooter or a 3-point shooter. He's more or less just that dime floor general, as would be in 2K terms. Mama Wax would be still a product that's not. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so wax is just basically any like steel, like packs and stuff. Freddie's in the house. Good to see you, man. Thrift Beast said that Spence is killing him for them Lucas. Yeah, I know, man.
They're at PSA. They're in the vault with the other 10 million so cards or whatever. They got a lot of friends.
My buddy Marty actually ripped, I believe, 3 Donruss packs today, $25 a piece at the show, and I'm pretty sure the only like substantial card he got was like a base Anthony Edwards. Other than that, like literally, he got every single trash rookie under the sun. Like the most garbage of rookie. I don't even know, man. Like I want to say probably like somewhere 15, 20, 30. I don't know. It's like it looks like a cello pack, but like the first however many cards are all like base cards.
Oh, okay.
And then they'll give you like a couple inserts, like 1 color card, and then the rest is like rated rookies. But like he was getting like literally every like lower end rookie that there was.
Never know though. Just like kind of how this class was, this last one was with Zion and everything. You know, there's guys that we would rip and be like, "Oh man, I got a silver THT or whatever," and now you know something. So you know that those packs and those things that we rip, you know, we get a little more money out of now. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. You've been doing very many pickups lately, as far as like buying singles or anything like that?
Last thing I bought was got a Crusoe auto this year's hoops. I bought that, and then nothing other than that. I don't think I got this week. I did buy a pack of 89.90 Fleer, but just word the wise guys, don't buy that. Don't buy Fleer that in those wax packs because 99.9% of them are open and searched through, just like the one I got the other day. So, yeah, I highly suggest.
Were you able to verify yours was like messed with?
The only way that I was able to tell was because the sticker was out of order, unless from what I was reading was wrong. But yeah, the sticker was out of order compared to how it should be in the packs. That was the way I was looking at it.
Okay, awesome. Marty verified there are 30 cards per pack. Appreciate you being here, Marty.
What up? Yeah, I do a lot of just, you know, I don't rip a lot, but I want to. But you know, I can't ever find retail, so I just buy a lot of singles. You know, I buy a lot of the, you know, Wiseman's or whatever. If I like a guy, just like I did, like I liked Hero last year, I picked up a bunch of his stuff for dirt cheap, and then, you know, whenever nobody was talking about him, and you know, now his cards are, you know, obviously a lot more valuable than they were even with modern still climbing out of the trenches of the dive it took because of vintage. But you know, that's what you gotta do. You gotta buy early on some of these guys and just, you know, have that sixth sense, be like, you know what, I like this guy's game, I think he's gonna be a good player, you know, or I'm gonna roll the dice and see what I can do, you know.
Yep. Grunt Dad's in the house. Oh, man, good to see you. Appreciate you being here. You guys haven't checked out my man Grunt Dad, check him out. He's over there grinding. Oh, that's awesome. This break's got Hero's signature rookie card.
Nice.
That's sick.
Yeah, Crusoe's kind of like one of my PC people, so I've been trying to get his auto for months, and his prices, because of being on the Lakers and everything, was like hundreds of bucks, and I just couldn't see myself paying that much for Crusoe, even though I like his game and everything like that. So I finally found hoops for, I think I paid right around 40 for it. So we'll get that slabbed up for the PC, and it'll sit on my desk, and I can have one of the goats on my desk with me.
Oh yeah, you know it.
Spider's act up.
What's going on, my man? Awesome meeting you again last week, man.
He says, "Who is the front runner for a Rookie of the Year now? LaMelo is hurt." I would probably say probably down to 3 or 4 guys.
I personally.
Good.
Okay, man. My thing was buffering, so.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Wiseman, Edwards, But probably Halliburton, man. He's been playing out of his mind. But Edwards has been pushing up lately.
Halliburton is kind of my pick too. He's like my dark horse guy. Like he had an opportunity with Melo healthy too. You know what I mean? Like it was an outside chance, but you know what I mean? Like he still had the chance with Melo there. So yeah, I like Halliburton, man. I've been setting some of his stuff aside to send in to get graded. I think he's going to be good. Wish he was on a better team though, but you know how it goes. Yeah, Sadiq Bey is definitely looking good. Like I've been impressed. Sadiq Bey is killing my Sekou values right now.
Same here.
Although Sekou's kind of killing my Sekou values. It's not necessarily Sadiq Bey's fault for not being terrible at life.
Grunt Dad says, have you checked out the prices for DeRozan rookies are going for?
I haven't, no, but are they like going up a lot?
Didn't you have a DeRozan rookie that you sold at auction? Like
I had a couple of them, numbered ones.
Yeah, I think it was like light blue or something. I think
yeah, something like that.
I was surprised he didn't move. There was a lot of talk of him possibly going to the Heat, but I guess Spurs and them couldn't get a deal going, and they picked Oladipo. That would have been a better fit.
That's skill to pick Halliburton preseason too. It's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Definitely.
This is the Blues going for 50 raw.
He was.
So that's what's great about
kind of a guy that was like falling back. Good. I'm sorry.
There's a lag because of my connection.
Like lagging or whatever.
It's all good. No worries. Yeah, I was just gonna say that's the great thing about us having the auction is that, the card that sells for $50 raw on eBay, people are literally picking up for what, like $5-6 in our auction. I love being able to like provide that for people, and going to like so many LCSs and everything. It's like so easy to like find deals like that. So it's cool that we get to pass that along.
Definitely. Marty's asking the $1 million question right there. I mean, I don't know who possibly could be that guy, but if I had to guess, a couple guys, Porzingis. I think if Dallas is going to do anything, they need a solid showing from Porzingis to really make a good run. Another guy would be, I think off the top of my head, probably Donovan Mitchell. I mean, they're the first place team right now. I mean, and his prices aren't even. I mean, they're starting to get a little on the high side, but they're pretty reasonable compared to other players that especially having the team success they're having.
I still need to pick up a Mitchell auto. I can't find one for the price I want to pay.
Yeah, I mean they're hot. Their team's hot. That's probably why you can't get one for a super good deal.
I would say two guys that I think are going to have a lot of postseason value. Well, I mean, like more than just the two of them, but really KD and Harden, I think, are going to continue to like really thrive. Obviously until they're either eliminated or win the championship type thing. I could really see, a lot of people starting to get hype on Brooklyn, especially if they're able to get any of the buyout people. You know what I mean? Like I told Nate, like the NBA should just like quit the season if Andre Drummond goes to the Brooklyn Nets, because it's like everybody just went to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, like literally that whole team, other than Kyrie and Durant, basically from last year. You know what I mean? We're all new pieces. I mean, their whole rosters basically would be brand new.
Yep. Yeah, that would be insane, man.
But literally, their starting five would be all all-stars or people that been all-stars, on their starting five. And then where does Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan go? To the bench? So then now you have these great power forward bench pieces that if something would happen to Durant, now you have those guys popping in and being able to pull the void, and just Harden and Kyrie would have to just put on a show every night. So I mean, it's something that if they were able to pull Drummond, they basically have so much power and different pieces to be able to even lose someone like Durant and still have a chance to win the finals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This a break said if the Nets do go all the way, Harden, Durant, Kyrie would be a good time to sell. Yeah, I mean, their stuff has definitely seen great boosts like this season alone. Like, and I told Nate straight up, like, the minute Gary V came out and was like, "Go get Kevin Durant," I'm like, "Oh, I just missed my window of getting more Kevin Durant," and it's like it still keeps going up. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just like he said it and like it popped and then has been steadily declining. Like, it's still going up. You know what I mean? So, like, he's definitely one of them guys. Like, and that's another thing, like, I've noticed with going to shows and stuff is Durant's one of the guys that most people are chasing after right now. Like, that's a name you hear almost at every show, whether, you know, you're watching a YouTube video or you're live, you know, and you hear people out there hunting basketballs. Kevin Durant is, like, one of the most popular, you know, guys people are out there hunting. That isn't, like, I would say, one of the GOATs. Like, not saying that he won't be or can't be by the time he, you know, hangs it up, but he's not like Kobe, Jordan, LeBron yet. You know what I mean? And outside of those three names, his is probably the most talked about other basketball player, in my opinion.
Definitely. I mean, if you look what LeBron's rookie cards were doing, I mean, he doesn't have as many championships as LeBron, but, you know, I mean, for a lot of the other accolades and everything else, I mean, they're pretty even. So for the most part, his prices were undervalued for such a long time because of, I guess, for the most part, it was his Achilles and stuff like that, you know, for him sitting a whole season. And that was during the whole, you know, pandemic for the most part. So a lot of people, you know, like I was picking up his stuff for dirt cheap last year, and I'm actually waiting on something to come back hopefully in the next month. I should have 2 rookies of him coming back from top, so can't wait for those to come back. Lost volume.
Yeah, I muted it for a minute.
Oh, okay. I just thought
I was trying to work a second cam because I wanted to show off one of my pickups from the card show today.
Okay, I thought my headphones went bad.
No. I have better quality audio on my phone than I do on my actual computer.
Oh, okay.
Or on my webcam or whatever. So I figure I'll just show it off on there.
Paul said, "Go get Derek Carr." I hear he will be blowing up.
Maybe.
I'm sure Vegas Dave is still waiting for that to happen. What up, Stash? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here.
Good to see you, Stash. Appreciate you being here. My bad. I want to show you guys this pickup. This is like the one investment piece I picked up at this show today. It's a Donruss rookie, significant signatures, Michael Porter Jr. Super slick, like really good condition. It's a silver rookie auto.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm going to send this over to Nate and get him one of his PSA group submissions. Yeah, that thing is just slick. That's like the only like non-PC card I picked up today. Although technically it's going to be in my PC, but I consider that more of like an investment card. But yeah, I've been like really big on picking up autos lately, guys. Actually, make that a little bigger so you can see it. There you go.
You've definitely been on the auto train, that's for sure.
Yep. I just picked up a PSA 10 Tyler Hero Prism Auto recently, too.
Nice.
I don't have that one handy. Like I said, this is one I just picked up today. I'll show you a couple of the other stuff that I grabbed. The other stuff's basically just Cavs, but check this out, dude. It's a sealed team set of the 2012 Cavaliers. So it's like the Kyrie rookie, it's like Tristan Thompson, like it's got some good players in it, but like I just thought that was cool. Like it's sealed Kyrie rookie card.
Nice.
I picked that up for $10 today.
Oh, that's definitely a score.
Yep. I grabbed this for $5 just because it's marked price Can't be a true Cavs fan and walk by that for $5.
I like the look of that. It looks good.
Yeah, I like these Hoops Inc. I got a Okoro like that. Paid $2 for this Donruss rated rookie Okoro. And Marty got this out of one of his packs, so he just gave it to me.
That's awesome.
From Donruss Okoro. And then he also gave me this one out of one of his packs. It's a Sexton from Donruss. And then, obviously, when the pride of Brazil is there, you don't pass him up. I got 2 of his rookie cards, one in his Brazilian getup and one of the bazooka cards.
I think me and him are starting to get the same hairline.
I know. That's awesome. And then the last one, I just got this for like my PC. It's a Dick Ambrose. He played for the Browns back in the day. I got him just like, there's an inside joke that like made me and Marty start PCing this guy. So
okay.
I'm actually sending him to GMA just because why not?
See, Coro had 12 points the other night, man. Starting to really ball out.
I'm just glad that the guy that I've recently been buying his stuff from thinks he's offensively challenged. There we go. My bad. I was trying to get this out of there. Yeah, my phone, for whatever reason, shows cards off much better than my webcam. So rather than giving you guys blotchy, crappy views of the card, I figured I'd just give you the iPhone experience. But yeah, that's all I picked up today. I didn't really spend a whole lot of money or anything like that. But I definitely appreciate everyone being here. We have looks like 8 currently in chat. If you guys could throw a thumbs up on the video for me and Nate, we would appreciate that. Just a reminder for those of you guys who might have forgotten too, the GMA deadline is the 1st, which is coming up like literally in like 2 days or something like that. So if you're not able and you wanted to be in a submission, if you weren't able to get the cards in by then, we will be doing another one next month. And we're also doing a CGC submission reasonably soon as well. So if anybody has interest in either of those, feel free to reach out to me or get a hold of Nate and I in our Facebook group. I'll be definitely getting those submissions done and organized. I still have a lot of cards that I'm kind of pre-grading for people. So this GMA submission like might be a little difficult to get into because of that if you need pre-grading. But like I said, I'm already taking cards for next month too because I got like a big monster box of stuff that a buddy of mine once sent out. So I'll be processing GMA for a while this month. What's up, Nate? Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here. We will be actually connecting with Nate at some point too about a international sports card show. It's going to be pretty awesome. So keep an eye out for thrifters to come on and talk about sports cards in Australia with us sometime.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I love that like a hobby can literally bring people from different countries together. You know what I mean? Like he's here from Australia. Chris is here from Canada. You know what I mean? That's just super cool. Grunt Dad is here from, South Korea right now. Granted he's from America, but it's still pretty awesome, that we're all in different parts of the world here talking about sports cards. Well, yeah, guys, now that
for tomorrow's auction, it will be on my channel, 4 p.m. Eastern, and also I'm gonna drop another link for our Facebook group. If you want to get in group submissions, ask questions, sell cards, I'll do that on the page right there. It's free to join. Appreciate if you would take time and hop in.
Absolutely. Also, guys, I just want to put this out there since there's like now a few more people in the room. It might be possible, like I might not make 7 days this week as far as uploads, just because like I got some stuff going on like in my family right now that's super important. So if you don't see an upload a certain day, or if it's not on time, it's just because like I got some like stuff going on that requires attention. But I'm gonna still try to do 7-day uploads and everything like that. But in case I miss a day, that's pretty much what it, why. So more info as I'm able to provide it or whatnot. But Nate did drop a link to our Facebook group as well, guys. Like I said, if you're not a part of that, that's where all of our group submission information goes. Also anything to do with our channels, meetups, any of that type of stuff, it's all done in there. You guys can buy, sell, and trade there too. We just ask that you do goods and services to protect yourselves, because people be sketchy nowadays.
Yeah.
So
that's the only thing we ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just want to make sure you guys are protected. But yeah, it's completely free to be in there. So you guys are welcome to even ask questions if you ever have questions in there. But if you're not subscribed to Nate, we will be doing our live sports card auction at 4:00 tomorrow. And we're definitely going to have some fire, because I've been digging through some boxes this week to find some new stuff. So we'll definitely have some good stuff. If there's anything specific you guys would like to see, you can always comment on this video and let us know. But anybody in the chat have any questions or anything like that? Anything about the market, grading, anything? We can talk about the product Nate uses on his beard. It's called Lion Tamer.
I think I might trim the beard here shortly.
What?
Not all the way, but definitely, maybe here.
So no ZZ Top then?
Yeah, it's getting a little ridiculous. Whenever I go to eat, I tuck my beard like this now. Especially when I'm laying in bed late night trying to eat a little snack or whatever.
Yeah.
It gets in the way. Marty's asking, any players looking to dump sooner than later?
Sekou.
Sekou.
Definitely Sekou.
Yeah. I mean, Bay's killing it out there. He's taking, the most of his opportunities. I don't know what's going on with Sekou or why he's not progressing, but sometimes some players just need a different environment or whatever the case may be. So I mean, that would definitely be one. I mean, honestly, it'd be players that would be non-playoff contending or maybe made trades, like, for example, like the Raptors, who are going for the future, Sacramento. So De'Aaron Fox and guys like that who have no chance of the playoffs, because playoff time, me and Anthony always tell you guys, it's when you get the best money, because people just buy on impulse. They see an amazing game. They go, oh, I got to get his rookie. I got to get his auto. I got to get his patch auto, different things like that. So that's the best way to really get top dollar whenever you guys are buying different stuff and hoping to see higher numbers on cards and things of that nature.
Nice. J-Dub says he got some nice sports card haul yard sales today. That's awesome, man. What'd you end up finding? It's pretty awesome. Any like specific cards or anything? I think the best sports card I've ever found at a garage sale has been a Joe Montana rookie card.
I think I'm going to be going to more yard sales than normal, especially looking for sports cards, because I know there's so many times I've seen them and I just like, nah. And I should just pick them up for $10 for 1,000 cards, and even if one card was worth $20, I come up ahead, of course. So,
yep.
Just keep looking for them opportunities, guys, because there's a lot of people that just don't value, different things. It doesn't have to be cards and yard sale stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? And you can make a buck or use it or whatever the case may be.
Yep. I love going to yard sales for that very purpose, because people put stuff out for nothing, guys. And most of the stuff people put out for nothing, somebody on eBay is willing to pay close to retail for, So it's a great way to build your collection. Like even if, you might not know, like, say, antiques, or you might not know, other types of collectibles or whatnot, but you might go there and see a video game that you know about, you know what I mean? Like, so like I always try to check out yard sales, garage sales, estate sales. I like flea markets and stuff like that, because like when you find people that don't value their stuff, they're willing to give it to you for like nothing. So like I love going to those type of things, because you'll most oftentimes get like the best return on your value doing that. Yeah, I was actually surprised Savage Granny wasn't blowing me up, because there's an estate sale in town today, and she saw a sign for it the other day. So like I thought for sure she'd have been blowing me up, like on my ride home from Ohio.
Yeah, weather just needs to get a little better around here, and then I'll be venturing out and stuff. That's for sure. I was coming in last night. The weather started, getting really cold or whatever. So it's getting close to where we're going to start seeing some amazing weather all the time. Can't wait.
Yeah, I know, man. It's gonna be really nice. It's definitely getting like close to flea market season, so I'm pretty pumped about that. That's that's always huge for me in non-COVID years, is flea market income and stuff like that.
I miss going to those, man. We used to have so much fun just running around, going and doing different stuff like that.
Yep. Maybe we'll have to do that one of these days. The yard sale treasure map doesn't work anymore now, though. Like,
right, we're gonna have to go old school.
They were like, the boys are on to cards now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it stinks. I paid for the app. I paid the $3 or whatever the heck it was, and man, now they like just randomly close it off. I need my refund.
I know, it's messed up.
I just let them have it.
That's what you got to do.
You know it. J-Dub said 2 boxes for $50. The guy's best cards from his youth. A lot of card savers typically out of the 90s, but had some 60s and 70s baseball. Nothing crazy though. Jordan Flair 89 sticker. There you go.
That's awesome. Yeah, pretty much any Jordan stickers
that paid for. Yeah. What up, BJ?
Hey, BJ, good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here.
Hey, Sandy.
That's awesome. New Cunha. Good to see you, Sandy. I appreciate you being here. Oh, hello.
Speaking of eBay. Makes me want to go look some stuff. I need to start.
That was it was a Larry Bird card, a 1987 Flair. Michael Jordan's second year set.
Nice.
Yep. That's what's up, man. Big card video coming. These are my favorite kind of videos. Yeah. I mean, technically, that was probably best news for Marty. That's one of his cards that sold.
There you go, Marty.
Consignment. Yep. His stuff's been selling through pretty good. Like with his stuff, like I'm not as loose, since it's like obviously somebody else's like money I'm dealing with. So his GMA stuff is starting to sell through now. You know what I mean? Like, and I left his stuff up like higher, whereas mine, like, I'll kind of just sell for whatever the market's giving me type thing. You know what I mean? Just to kind of recoup as much money. But I mean, it's been like steady Eddie, man. I'm shipping out a GMA almost every day at this point.
That might even make you do your GMA stuff a little bit differently, maybe price wise. If that's kind of what's happening. Now you might have to wait a little bit, but eventually, those prices you might be able to make more money. In other words,
Yeah, I think I might only have like 6 or 7 GMA slabs total left. You know what I mean? Like of like my total slabs, just because they sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not liquid like PSA or like, even SGC for that matter, but there's definitely a demographic for it.
I was looking at
Chris is asking of the value. But go ahead and say what you were going to say first.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't have anything.
Yeah, Mama, that was the Larry Bird I was talking about the other day. It was a 1987 Larry Bird. Actually, here, I can just show it to you because I have his consignment box right here. It's not going to look as pretty because I'm not going to set the other camera up again, but this is it right here. So Marty's been doing like, he's been killing the game, buying like a bunch of cards from like key sets like this and grading like the ones that are gradable. And then the stuff that isn't, he's still making money selling raw. You know what I mean? But he's like killing the game on the ones that he is able to get graded. But yeah, so that's what just sold.
A lot of people I hear are like grading the whole set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so they collect it and then they'll just send in bulk, and whenever it comes back, it comes back. And then they have literally a whole set slab of like Jordan's rookie year or, some of these other sets.
So Chris was asking about GMA here. He says, would you say it's most equivalent to PSA or BGS? Honestly, I think GMA is like lesser than both. For a GMA 10, you can expect to get right around the value of a PSA 9. And certain cards that may not be the exact mathematical equation to value, but theoretically, you can get a 10 in GMA for about the same value as a 9 in PSA, which it's not necessarily that steep of a decline, from like BGS to SGC or any of those other companies. So like typically, like I said, GMA is great for the aspect of only putting in like you're integrating for sub $10 per slab on those. You know what I mean? So that's the nice thing about GMA. Thing that sucks there is they just raised prices too. So, they were, bulk pricing it like $6 a slab, and now, they're $8 to $10 a slab. So, I'm kind of rethinking what I'm doing there too, because like the cards that I'm okay with selling for like $15, like if I'm paying $8 to grade it, do I really want to sell the card for $15 then? You know what I mean? Because then typically there's insurance and shipping on top of it that in group submissions we normally share. So it's not like a lot of money, but like if I was sending all the cards myself, I don't necessarily know that I would be sending like $10 and $15 cards to, and I mean like $10 or $15 once it's graded to resell. You know what I mean? Like most of the cards I send to GMA are cards that value raw $1 to $5, maybe a little bit more. And then normally I get them back. I sell them anywhere from like $15 to like $50 most of the time, depending on what the card it is. Oh, that's awesome, Grunt Dad. I'm really happy to hear that because I was just telling Nate this earlier today. My buddy Marty signed up for a CSG CGC account, and we're going to be probably within the next week or two sending a big submission over to them. So Stash wants to know, how much is a PSA graded card to send in, and what about bulk? That's Nate's category. He's the PSA guy.
Yeah, if it's PSA, it's for the modern, it's $25 a card that's what they charge, and 20 for anything 2017 and down. And unless you have something from the 60s, which their quarterly pricing is closing right now. I think they had something for like $9 or something like that. I'd have to double check on that, but that's changing April 1st. They'll come out with new quarterly pricing on something.
Paid $20, so like 21 after shipping, because I just have my new eBay standard envelope just set to $1, because it's typically up to 91 cents. So 9 cents is my handling fee. Just because it's easier than me going through and literally manually doing it. Yeah, so the bird was $20, $1 shipping.
Marty said that LaMarcus Aldridge is signing with the Nets.
Mhm.
So
Nice.
Drummond's not going to
nasty.
Brooklyn.
That's nasty too, though. You know what I mean? Like that's another key piece.
They're gonna be tough, man.
They're
I
gonna be
mean,
real
literally,
tough.
Lakers have to get Drummond now.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they have to, because they need that big body, for some of these other teams. You know what I mean? And AD cannot play the 5. I mean, he's played in the playoffs, but look how he was injured, basically playing through the playoffs just for them to win. So if they want to have some, the same success as last year, they need to get Drummond or figure out what they're going to do at that center position so that Anthony Davis can stay at the 4 or whatever and literally not get banged around as much.
Exactly. Chris says Brooklyn's becoming a video game team. They really are too. So Paul says he's decided against GMA for now because value's not there. And yeah, like I said, man, like it's something that I've even reassessed. Like me and Marty both have reassessed how we're doing it. The thing that's really encouraging to me though is like my guy Glenn, aka the GMA Jedi. That's what I'm calling him. Like, cause this dude, like literally, I don't even get my slabs listed yet whenever we get our order in, and his stuff's gone. Like he just makes them disappear. So like, as long as like I'm seeing them continue to turn, I'm going to continue to send. But like I said, I'm going to continue to be smarter with what I'm sending, because if you're not getting 10s, like most cards, like I'm just trying to break even on them, like $10. You know what I mean? If it's not like something substantial, like a star player or something like that. So yeah, I mean, you ideally want to really vet pretty much any submission you send in, because ideally you want 9s and 10s. But with GMA, like really, if you're not getting 9s and 10s, there really isn't much value. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if you're going according to PSA tiers, there's like a whole like number tier like missing, because you figure if the 10 is worth like basically the same as a 9 PSA wise, the only real benefit to it is that you get your cards back in like a month, if not less. You know what I mean? You're only paying, minimal amount to grade it compared to some of the other companies. The nice thing is CSG is only $1 more though. So that's another reason why I want to give them a try and see kind of how that works. You know what I mean? Because I'm open to grading with anywhere I'm going to get more value for my stuff. You know what I mean? And I grade so much with Nate through PSA. I like doing these other companies just so I always have stuff coming in. You know what I mean? Because like we were saying in the beginning of the show, PSA is a pregnancy. You know what I mean? This is like microwave baby with these other companies, at least with some of them. Like my last SGC submission only took 2 weeks to come back.
Definitely. Yeah, that's what makes it tough. Like, it's part of the reason why I haven't sent anything out since the price increase. You know what I mean? I'm really watching the market, trying to figure out what is the best move. And, on the lower end stuff, like what you guys are saying with this CSG, kind of what HGA is doing, you know what I mean? Like with the slabs and stuff. So, I just think, there's different ways different cards that can go different ways where you can make good money, where almost everything out of a pack can almost sell, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So Stash makes a good question. So he says, you sending anything in, Nate, in the future in bulk? He does bulk submissions every month, Stash. So you can pretty much send him anything, like, 1 card, 100 cards. It doesn't really matter. He can get you taken care of with PSA. And yeah, I do the same thing with the other companies. I purposely don't do PSA because I don't want to step on Nate's toes because he's already doing it, and quite frankly, he does my PSA submissions too. So what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But yeah, I like grading stuff too, though. You know what I mean? Like I really enjoy it. It's a hobby of mine, so I like to do SGC just for the fast turnaround and GMA just for like the lower end stuff because I could sit there and sell cards for $1, $2 all day on eBay, but I can just send them to SGC and then I'm making, $20, $30, $40, $50 sales instead, so it just makes sense for me, you know what I mean, to put a little bit of money into certain cards and be able to make a little bit more on the back end.
I think it's awesome too is like whenever you sell a graded card, there's usually basically like a 1% chance of a customer being upset or whatever, unless the slab would crack. That would be like the only issue that you would have. Where when you're selling raw cards, now you're subject to interpretation. Like if this person thinks there's a scuff or thing, unless they have like I have like a lens or my new machine that I got that I haven't even checked out yet. You know what I mean? Like where you're able to literally see every micro, the smallest little mark on a card, and then I could take a picture and send it to them or whatever and say like, this is what's wrong with the card. Now that's what you're dealing with. So like with me, if I'm selling something raw and I'm like, this isn't worth grading, I'm just going to sell raw. At least I know when I'm sending it, like with the stuff I have, I'm able to look at the cards, make sure that they're good enough condition where I don't have to have any issues, and I'm able to, label them correctly. Like if there's an issue, I could say check description, has minor thing, and this picture, check out picture 4, and then this way they know, okay, this is there. But still, you could still have returns or people changing their mind because maybe it's not as bad as they thought it was whenever they looked at your picture. But when you're selling slabs, I mean, there's no problem. I've never had a problem with any slabs getting sold and any issues with any customers.
Mm-hmm. Joseph makes a good point. He said CSG might work well with Pokemon since they do comics and there's more of a connection with it. Yeah, very well. Good. So Sandy was asking about that card she has. If I remember, is that the Jordan, I think 89 Jordan sticker or something like that? She was asking about. If it's in good condition, I would definitely get it graded. I know you said it was still in pack. The only issue is sometimes like cards come out of packs damaged. Like even for example, like this team set I bought of the Cavs, it has a Kyrie Irving rookie on it, but just looking through it, I can see that it has a little edge wear and some corner damage just from bouncing around in the pack, like over the last 10 years that it's been in there type thing. So with a card like that Jordan being in there probably 30 years, you know what I mean, and it being a much softer pack, it's essentially sealed probably in either cellophane or wax paper, I would think. And if it's something to where you already see it, you know what I mean? Like my concern would be is if any of the corners are damaged since it's on the end and it's not, it doesn't have that layer of other cards kind of keeping the corners from being smushed type thing. Not saying that would be the case. It's just a possibility. You know what I mean? Like I've seen the same thing happen before, but then again, it could come out. It could be a PSA 10 and you could be swimming in cash. So really, I would just say it's going to just take a trained eye to take a look at it and, maybe give you a better, idea of it. Oh, she has a Kobe now. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. So something happened with the Jordan. My bad. So she has a 2007 Kobe upper deck. It would really just, again, depend on the condition, because I think anything Kobe is worth definitely grading. Now, that's not a rookie or anything, so like it won't have like rookie card value. But I mean, depending on what it is, you know what I mean? Like it still may have some value graded, being that it's Kobe Bryant. Pretty much anything him, Michael Jordan, LeBron James is all worth something graded.
I'm sorry, my internet cut it off for a second.
Oh, that's cool. My internet's been crapping itself too. I've been wanting to really look into ComC a little bit more because I've heard of so many people using it. You know what I mean? Like, I've just never considered using it just because I'm so used to just listing stuff on eBay anyway. You know what I mean? But yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out. Have you ever looked into ComC, Nate? Yeah, that's fine, Sandy.
I mean, I haven't looked into it. I think they have a little bit better pricing than eBay or similar, something like that. But I haven't looked into it. I'd rather have my cards, with me because of how players can go up or trades, like how we've seen. Maybe I want to send something express or send it, in PSA, or I'm able to pivot a lot better versus, okay, ComC has my stuff now, it's there, or Star Stock or whoever, and then I have to wait, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, then I might have missed a window of where I would have been able to do well, and make a move. So I want to be able to make a move that, as quickly as possible. And that's why I like, having stuff slabbed up too, because like, trading or selling at shows and doing different things like that, I'm able to pivot as quickly as I need to.
Grunt Dad says he does ComC a lot as well. That's awesome. Yeah, Sandy, if you send it, we'll definitely take a look at it for you. At least give you an honest opinion, whether or not we think that it's gradable. And like, if it's not, we'll tell you why we don't think it is. And then like the way I do stuff is like, I tell people, like, if you want me to send cards, I'll send cards, like whether it's a 1 or a 10, like, I don't care. Like, you might be like me and just want a relic of a cat that looks like yours. You know what I mean? Because you're a weird dude, I'm not going to judge you for that. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that wasn't going to get a 10, but it looks like my cat, so I wanted to grade it. So, but I do always try to look over stuff for people, just to make sure you get the best grade possible.
Yeah, I mean, on the modern cards, you want the 9s and 10s, but on the vintage stuff, even if it's a 7, it still commands a lot of value because technically a lot of these card companies and stuff didn't start grading until the 90s. So a lot of the older stuff, was in bike, spokes and, were in boxes for years and have the damage. So, and the production of these cards are not like the, cards in the 90s as well. So, just because a card isn't perfect doesn't mean, it shouldn't be graded. It just depends on, what, era it is, if it's modern, vintage, so on and so forth.
Yeah, we should do that right now. Chris says, I need to search for PSA 1s. You know what, though? If you get a PSA 1 Jordan, that's still over $1,000. So, like, theoretically, like, there are some cards that, like, literally you could wipe yourself with that I would say still grade, just because a PSA 1 Jordan is still $1,000. And PSA 1's the worst grade you can get.
Right. But like with a Jordan rookie, a Jordan rookie is a Jordan rookie. You know what I mean? That's why it even commands any type of value. And it's in that slab and it's protected, and, it's PSA deemed it whatever. So that's how it gets that value. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, Sandy, I live near New Kensington.
If someone came up to me and says, hey, I got a Michael Jordan,
yeah, sorry about the lag, guys. I don't know if it's StreamYard, the internet, what it is. But yeah, Sandy, I live in near New Kensington. Nate lives like all the way on the other side of Pittsburgh, way out by Monessen. But yeah, you can definitely get a hold of us, and however is easy for you. I have all of my contact information down below. If you're a member of our Facebook group, both of me and Nate are in there. You can feel free to reach out to us on Facebook if you want, or Instagram, whatever. Like I say, however it's easier for you guys to reach out, that's perfectly fine. But yeah, I do keep all that stuff in the links and stuff below. But here's the Facebook group Nate just dropped. But both of our personal accounts are in there. Nate's in there as Nate Dizzy. I'm in there as anthonycelender with a C, spelled kind of like calendar with E's instead of A's. So I'm just like the really handsome person in the profile picture. So that's how you'll know it's me. Oh, you're welcome. No worries. But yeah, I'd be more than happy to look at it for you, Sandy. Especially if you're local, it makes it easy.
I think Kobe's going to be in line like with MJ, like where basically anything of him in his playing days is going to be worth getting graded, or unless it's after his playing days and it's like a numbered card or something like that, where it would have some value because of Kobe collectors. You know what I mean? Like getting a card that's numbered 99 or something like that. So for the most part, I would think almost any Kobe is worth getting graded as long as the condition is good. For the most part, unless it's like a rookie or something.
Yeah, it's kind of the way I look at it too.
Yeah, let me know, Stash. Just message me in the group, or you have my email. Just message me, let me know whenever you want to send stuff in. And I'm going to be doing a big, I don't want to say, I'm going to be going to this guy's house and really going through his collection and stuff like that. He has about 400 cards he wants me to send, so I'm going to go to his house on the other side of Picksburgh, and he has a bunch of stuff going to be going out of all different years and different things. So, no matter what you got, for the most part, I can definitely bulk it or express it or whatever you want to do.
Me and Paul
regular. Yeah, definitely. You guys definitely do.
And
right before the price changes, you guys were like, "Hey, I got another card, another submission coming your way about every week." I was getting stuff, so
yep. Well, it was so much easier back then. You know what I mean? Now it's like literally like I'm getting half the stuff graded for the same price.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
I'm just glad we got one last submission under our belt before they jump prices. You know what I mean? Like with PSA, and I got that SGC under my belt before it jumped too. Dude, if SGC was still 15, definitely. I'd be grading so much through them right now.
Yeah, that would make me, make my choice of what to do, long term a lot easier, because, getting cards back for $15 in 2 weeks to 4 weeks, and even though the value is not all the way there, it's coming back, and it's one of the top tier, companies, top 3, top 4, depending on who you talk to, you know what I mean, and that's pretty awesome. I mean, like when he did his review of SGC and he sent it out 2 weeks and got back 2 weeks, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little jealous just because I haven't had any reveals and I haven't had any cards come back. So it makes it tough, man. But PSA is backed up for a reason, and depending on who you talk to, some people will be like, "Who's this?" And then me and Anthony will be like, "Well, that's one of the better companies. What do you mean? What is this?" And some of the older vendors, they don't like anything other than PSA or maybe Beckett. Those might be the only two that they look at. So, it's going to be interesting to see how some of this stuff does moving forward with different companies, and how people start really valuing different companies' slabs.
Yep. It's amazing too. Like I was telling Nate today, there was an old vendor I was talking with today that didn't even know what SGC was. And you can tell he's been in the card game for a long time, but it's like, how do you not know what SGC is and you're a card vendor? You know what I mean? Like, do you not see people with SGC slabs ever? Like, because I see them everywhere, man. You know what I mean? Like, I've graded ton with them too, like they're easy to deal with and they're thorough.
I mean, you even see different apps and programs like Market Movers and different things have SGC on some of the more popular cards. So it's not like, okay, they're not selling as much or whatever. So, their data is not important as the other two or whatever. So, these other companies are, getting a lot of sales and stuff where they are able to track data and do different things like that. So
Stash, the two lower price companies that I use at least are GMA, which have slabs that look like this, and the other one is CSG. It's the one that is famous for grading comic books. They just started doing sports cards. They've already been doing Pokemon type stuff. So those are two of the cheaper ones that I'm going to be using. Nate pretty much said earlier, I think the breakdown on PSA is like $20 or $25 per card, just for modern or old, depending on that kind of stuff. It's $25 a card for SGC, which is the black slabs that I was showing off on the channel. Those are $25 per card as well. But those ones, rather than like, the PSA where it takes a while to come back, those ones, they have fast turnaround of like under a month to like Nate said, mine was like 2 weeks. But that's uncommon because the last order I had before this one with them took 3.5 months. So I got this last order back 3 months sooner than even the last one. So they should be all caught up, especially now that they've raised their prices. I'm guessing less people are probably sending to them, but they're probably still making the same amount of money because the people that are sending are just paying double now. So, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Like the big thing with SGC that makes that a viable thing is just because of the speed, because it doesn't hold the value PSA does. You know what I mean? So if it wasn't for the speed and or like the aesthetically pleasing black case that it comes in, like it would be, in my opinion, worth just sticking to PSA if you're looking for max like resale value. But again, like some cards like may not be worth sending away that long. Like my Seikus, like you know what I mean? Like I'm probably, if I would have gotten the Seikus back in 2 weeks, I probably would have made money on them. Whereas like now I'm going to get them back and it's like, I'll be lucky to break even on like PSA, like 10 stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal either because I was paying the cheaper prices back then when I sent the Seiku too, because that was one of my first orders. But yeah, I mean, so it's one of those things where you got to kind of weigh the pros and cons. Like I know sending to like those other companies, I'm never going to get the return that I will sending them to PSA through Nate. But then again, like I don't want to wait on guys like Seiku anymore. You know what I mean? Like guys that I'm not sure on. Like, so now for me, if I'm sending it bulk to PSA and I'm expecting it to be like 9 months, a year before I get it, I'm just sending stuff that I know is going to be like rock solid, that I don't care if I get back for a year. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the big change, because there was a while there where I was just like, oh, well, I don't care if it takes a little bit longer. PSA gets the most value, so I'm just going to send everything valuable there. You know what I mean? I'm trying to kind of break my cards down to tiers now, but everything fire is going to go to PSA anyway, just because it's the most bang for your buck. You know, some cards are even worth paying them like an extraordinary amount to get it back sooner. Like Nate just sent in James Harden rookie and Aaron Rodgers rookie, stuff like that, Express. You know what I mean? And he expects to get that back within a month. I think is Express supposed to be 5 days, or what is the turnaround on Express? Like that they say it is. Like obviously it's a lot more than that, but
I think it used to be like their 10-day, I think, before, something like that. But now that they, changed over the prices and everything, they stopped calling it 5-day or 45-day or whatever. They actually just broke it down by their service. And then, depending on, where you're at, what service you pick is, kind of what expectations are. Like, for example, I sent out my Kobe back in, it was received by PSA February 9th. They didn't open it up till the 22nd of February, and I probably will get that back in another 3 weeks. So that took, it's going to take about a month and a half or something like that from when they actually entered the order. So that's when it should get done. So probably all in all, a little over 2 months for an express order, and get that back. But part of the reason why I got that express too is because of the value of the card. The card, especially at the time I sent it in, it even went up even more. So because of how they do it, depending on what the value is, you have to send it in to match the value of what you're sending. So with Express, I believe it's up to $2,500 a card, I believe. So for that Kobe, I should be in line, just perfectly in line for that. And then the Harden, I was way over because I just wanted that back for the playoffs, and I was okay with paying $75 at the time to get that back a lot quicker than sending it bulk.
So Stash has a good question. So the ones that are in PSA slabs, he wants to know, the ones that you might keep or sell, trade in others. So I think he's asking, do I just keep the ones in PSA slabs, or do I do a little bit? I personally, like, I'm not picky when it comes to slabs. Like, I really like the SGC black slab, so that's why I send to them a lot, just because, like, to me, that's aesthetically pleasing. But as far as like what I buy for my personal PC or whatever, PSA is always number one. So when I'm searching, I'm always looking under PSA 10 first, because that's the king. But from there, like, I go right to BGS, which is Beckett. I personally think, like, I'm going to make a video on it at some point, but I think the BGS 9.5 is a buy right now, big time buy, because the BGS 9.5 is Beckett's equivalent to the PSA 10. It's not worth as much as a PSA 10. In fact, like, with all the scandals and stuff that have happened with Beckett slabs, the 9.5 right now is pretty close in value to PSA 9, maybe just a little bit more. So, like, with that being the case, like, it's like Beckett's a great company. It's not going to stay in the crapper. You know what I mean? Like, that, I'm not saying that slab's going to surpass the PSA 10, but it's going to definitely go up from a PSA 9. You know what I mean? Especially because a BGS 10 is super rare to get. You know what I mean? Like, there's, you know what I mean, not a real high likelihood of that happening, and their 10s are actually more valuable than the PSA 10.
Yeah, if because you can get a pristine or like a gold label SGC, I mean, that's where you're really getting premium dollar. So I mean, if you're sending to those companies and you have a card that possibly would be a pristine 10 or a gold label SGC, that's when you'll see like PSA or better prices on possibly some of that stuff. Because I mean, if to be honest, like with PSA, there's a little give and take on, like, say a 10 or in a 9. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of that give and take where, on those cards, they're immaculate. I mean, there's no points taken off for any type of wear, corners, anything like that. So that's why it fetches such premium money. Yeah. I mean, you sent in a decent amount of cards SGC so far. I mean, you haven't got any gold labels or anything like that, so that kind of tells you how hard it is to get something like that.
I have hit 10s though, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. With them doing 9.5s, I thought the 10s would be harder to hit, but I mean, yeah, I've done decent with getting 10s through them. Like, in 9.5s have been, like, I don't think it's super hard to, like, get decent grades through SGC personally. Like, you just want to be real careful with, like, centering and, like, just, like, looking at everything else. But yeah, like, they grade thoroughly, but I don't think they're like a super hard grade like some people would say. You know what I mean? They're not like a scary grade, because, like, I purposely, like, the first time I sent to them, I purposely sent them some stuff that I knew wasn't going to grade good, just because I wanted to see how hard they graded. You know what I mean? So, like, now I feel comfortable sending stuff, and if, like, I miss anything, it might be like 0.5 off. Like, I'm pretty much getting all 9s and 10s from them, just because after you get so many submissions under your belt with a certain grading company, you start to, like, kind of see what they ding people on. So, like, for me, it makes it a lot easier to prep stuff and get higher grades for those specific companies.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of why I started doing the group ones for those two, because I'm more comfortable with their grading systems.
Definitely. Because you can understand, okay, if this has a small mark or whatever, okay, that's just going to get a 9, and that person's happy with 9, okay, cool. So then that can go in the pile, versus something where you're teetering, like, well, I don't know how hard they grade on, say, surface or corners or whatever. Some companies might grade extra hard on some of that stuff. So, as you send cards out or have us look at cards, you're getting a second opinion to look at that type of stuff. And, we tend to have at least a little bit of experience, I would say, sending stuff in and everything else like that. So, it's going to get done right and, should at least get at least, the grades you'd want. If not, then, we try to let you know, like, hey, this might not make it, at least a 9 because of X, Y, Z in our opinion.
Yep. And like we said, we'll send anything you want sent. Like I have an entire bubble mailer full of stuff that a guy dropped off yesterday that he said, like, I want you to look it over, but I don't care what the grades are. I want them all sent. So,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and that's his PC stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if you looked at my SGC reveal, like I was sending in like $1.50 Okoros because I wanted them in black slabs. You know what I mean? Like, you want what you want.
Right.
So, like, I have no problem, slabbing up anything that somebody wants slabbed. But, one thing that I've been really seeing, like, as far as, like, slabs and stuff go, that's kind of been kind of a play, and you brought this up the other day, man, like, I think that would be key if we could do it, like, trading graded for raw. You know what I mean? Because when you take your raw cards and make them graded, there's no other multiplier for your cards like grading. You know what I mean? It makes it so much more valuable. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've even made a trade with somebody, for a card, and I might have let them get a little bit more value, but like for me, it's like I paid like maybe a fraction of what I was trading for was worth because I just bought the card raw and sent it in and got graded. You know what I mean? So, like, I really think that might be a decent play at some of those card shows if you're able to like really have a good eye or verify the card's not all jacked up type thing.
Definitely. I mean, whenever you're trading, and say I'm the vendor, for example, and you're trading me, and now you're trading me raw cards for my slabs, you're going to get a premium for your cards because they're in slabs already, and because it's something they want. So you're able to get even more value because you're getting stuff that if you send it off to SGC or PSA, you're getting another multiplier on top of that. So just it's such a such an awesome kind of conversion that can happen. So you can really make out big. Like if I would trade, say, my Kobe for a bunch of Harden rookies that are raw, and I look them over, and I'm like, okay, well, these will 9 or 10. I know what these will value here, but I can only give you honestly raw value because that's all these are. These are raw. You know what I mean? I can't give you the PSA value because they're not in PSA slabs. So you're able to make that value plus this, setting off the PSA. So that's part of the reason why I bought the machine that I bought, and you guys will see it next week for sure. I'm going to do an unboxing of it, give you guys a quick demo of it, see why I chose one or the other, because I still have my handy dandy, little light here with the loom and everything like that. But this thing is going to be amazing to use on cards, and I can bring it to shows, and I could even charge people to prospect raw cards if I was set up in a booth or something like that and look over some stuff and give them my opinions on grades or condition.
Yeah, that would be awesome, dude. Like, I'm thinking about getting the same thing. I just want to see how yours works before I do it.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know how it turns out. I should be getting a full heavy rundown with it soon with just my stuff, and then, like I said, I have that one guy that I'm going to go see here shortly and look at about 400 or 500 cards that send to PSA.
Nice. So Sandy has a question. Raw would just be any card that's not graded. So any card ungraded is a raw card, and then a slab is just like, it's the plastic thing that a card is in. It's a graded card.
So like it's a PSA slab because it's from PSA.
Yep, those are the best ones to have, PSA, and mine's just GMA, which is, like I said, it's a little bit lower tier, but I love GMA, especially once they get their new slabs. I'm hoping the people in the April submission are going to get the new slabs. Like last I heard, The slab update was supposed to be at the very end of March. So hopefully the new GMA slabs will be this upcoming submission. If not, next one for sure, I would think.
Yeah,
these labels are so ugly.
Yeah, the update on them should give it a better look, which should bring more attention, more attractive, make them more attractive for people to want PC cards, or even just to have cards because they like the player. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if I told you, but I like low key ask GMA if they'd be willing to like sponsor us, since we're doing like the group submissions and stuff on the channel forum. And they no sold me.
I would tell you now.
Well, no, they didn't say anything. You know what I mean? Like they just never got back to me about it. They sent me back my stuff with no answer. So I'm guessing that's probably a no.
I think with a lot of different companies, they look at your overall, sales and stuff with them. So if you send in, $250,000 or $250,000 worth of cards, or you spent, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, if it's a smaller company or whatever, they might give you better pricing, or work with you or whatever, or be a sponsor like with us and stuff, which would be awesome.
I wasn't even necessarily looking for like any freebies, but like, can you give our group submissions like a little bit of a discount? Like even like $1 off. You know what I mean? Like for the people that are going to loyally send you stuff every month.
Definitely. That's part of the reason why, like, I was, started doing submissions in the first place, just to try and get into PSA or somebody's sweet spot, and be able to save myself some money and save everyone else money. That's why both of us try to do these gradings and different things for such a great rate, because we're just trying to give you guys some value. We just like looking at cards. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us and doing different things with us, and checking out our content. So just like a bonus for all people that really appreciate what we do, and they're in our community.
Yep. And truth be told, guys, like you'll find that the submission prices, like for either one of us, are super cheap compared to like most going rates. And really the reason for that is like you guys help us get it cheaper by sending stuff in bulk. You know what I mean? Like, would I personally be sending in over $100 or 100 cards to GMA myself every month? Maybe, but it's a lot easier when we all do it. You know what I mean? And then we can save at least $2 a card together. So like really the only like extra fee on mine is like $1. And that's because I buy these little pull tabs to go on there, and I put new cases, top loaders, and everything on the cards and stuff like that. So, like, I don't. The only thing I really make is getting my cards graded cheaper. So, and I know Nate is essentially like the same way. You know what I mean? Because we both redo all of our cards just to make sure you guys get the best grades, because a lot of these cases, even like the penny sleeves, can get dirt and stuff in them. And a lot of times, I don't know if you've ever seen those cards that have like the little divots in it. A lot of times it's just from dirty sleeves and the top loader pressing stuff down into it. So like if I'm sending something to grading, like I want to make sure like when they pull that out of the sleeve, it's going to be as clean as possible. You know what I mean? Like most of the time you're going to want to buff down the surface if you won't damage it doing that. Because like if say PSA, SGC, any of these companies get your cards, and even if there's a fingerprint on your card, they could knock you down a numeric grade for that. You know what I mean? Or at least like maybe even like a 0.5 of a grade for like a smudge or something like that really isn't that big of a deal. Like I've seen a lot of people be able to like resubmit cards just for cracking them and cleaning them, you know what I mean, and get better grades. So like that's something that I really value, you know what I mean, because I do cleaning for people, so it like burns me out doing so much where I just be like, Nate, thank you, man. I'll send him a big old blaster box full of cards and let him do all the cleaning and prep.
I enjoy it. It's my way of like kind of getting away from life and just what's going on in the world. And, I'm just down here in my basement and my own little happy place, and I get to enjoy what I do.
Yeah. Yeah, with mine, I'm always like, I'm so overly anal about other people's stuff that like I feel like I tend to miss more on mine because it's like I'm giving people like my word that I'm sending stuff that I think will 9 or 10. You know what I mean? Unless it's like one of those things where like send it anyway. So it's like I'm so like overly worried that I'm gonna, miss something.
It's always good to have a second eye. You know what I mean? And with the technology that we're using, and the one I just recently got, I mean, top notch. It's probably what PSA uses, if not better. You know what I mean? So you're getting like the closest look at a card ever possible I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
I can't wait to open up that box and check out that new machine.
Sadly, I haven't sent any Verjals in, but GMA is my company to like send in all the oddball stuff. Like I'm sending in a Power Ranger card for myself this time. What else do I got? I'm sending in some of my wrestling cards, especially since my original wrestling card, which I was not able to find any extras for you guys, but I got that back from SGC with just like a sticker of their label that just says no, like no explanation, just like, hell no, don't send that here again. So I'm going to send it to GMA because they have pretty much slabbed everything I've sent them so far. So hopefully that'll remain the trend. If not, then I guess I'm just not worth slabbing.
I was shocked that they didn't slab your card.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you sent in, say, like a Michael Jordan or something, and obviously someone made it locally like that. That was like, I mean, it's a legit card of yourself. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. That would have been cool in an SGC slab, though.
It would have been, especially because of how the card looks and everything.
Yeah,
must be black and white. Yeah, mine comes with a screen, Paul. It's a 7-inch screen.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's gonna be I mean, for me having to look at this and squint a little bit to having something as a 7-inch screen where I can just go like this. I mean, it's gonna make the process so much better on me, and the magnification is even better. So
yeah,
there's no more. I think I see a little this or that. It's like, oh, I definitely see that here. It's pretty blatant on that.
Yeah. We are coming up on 2 hours, guys, and I know that there's plenty of card auctions that happen on Saturday night, so we don't want to keep you guys too late, I should say. But we definitely appreciate you being here. Make sure tomorrow you come over to Nate's channel at 4 p.m. Eastern time because we are having our weekly live sports card auction. We'll have a bunch of graded cards. We'll have all kinds of different raw cards, a little bit of every sport. Like I said, if there's anything you guys are looking for specifically, just put that down in the comment section and I will let Nate know and he will pull that stuff as well. But there is the link, guys. Like I said, make sure you go over and subscribe to Nate's channel because this show we're doing right now is on his channel next week as well. But guys, we appreciate you. Till the next video. God bless you. Anything you want to say, Nate?
Have a fantastic day. See you to my channel.